Trump wins and Hollywood cries. It's hard to believe how some of these TV hosts and celebrities reacted to Donald Trump's victory over Kamala Harris. Instead of acknowledging the democratic process or respecting the will of the voters, they've taken to their shows to whine, cry, and throw what can only be described as adult tantrums. Let's take a look at some of the most over-the-top reactions and break down why this behavior is both sad and, honestly, embarrassing. First up is Jimmy Kimmel. Instead of delivering comedy, he chose to open his show with a lecture. He called the election results terrible and made it clear he was deeply upset. Watching someone who is supposed to entertain break down like this over a fair election result makes you wonder if these people have any ability to connect with reality. Then we have Jimmy Fallon. Fallon is known for being a bit more lighthearted, but even he couldn't help himself.
The President of the United States. No matter who you voted for, I think all Americans can agree it's going to be a rough Thanksgiving. Really.
He looked visibly shaken during his monologue, trying to mask his frustration with awkward jokes. It's as if the idea of Trump winning again was too much for him to handle. Instead of delivering laughs, he served up discomfort. Stephen Colbert was next, and he didn't disappoint when it came to the theatrics. He encouraged his audience not to be alone during these hard times. Seriously? Hard times? This is an election, not a natural disaster.
How you doing? If you watch the show regularly, I'm guessing you're not doing great. Yeah, me neither.
His melodramatic response only highlighted how disconnected these people are from everyday Americans who are just trying to live their lives. Seth Meyers took it a step further. He launched into a full-on rant, condemning Trump's character and the people who voted for him. Instead of using his platform to provide any constructive commentary, Meyers doubled down on the negativity and divisiveness that has plagued political discourse for years.
Joyful. For example, here's something. I don't think Donald Trump's a good person. I'd even go so far as to say he's a bad person.
This isn't comedy. It's just bitterness disguised as wit. And of course, we can't forget The View. Whoopi Goldberg and her panel spent an entire segment airing their grievances, with Whoopi calling the victory disturbing and Sunny Hostin claiming she was profoundly upset.
He's now the president. I'm still not going to say his name.
This show has always leaned heavily into partisan rhetoric, but their refusal to even entertain the idea that Trump's victory was legitimate is a new low. What's truly ironic about all of this is that these are the same people who claim to champion democracy and unity. Yet, when the results don't go their way, they throw these public pity parties, showing nothing but contempt for the millions of Americans who voted for Trump. It's hypocritical and, frankly, sad. Instead of fostering meaningful dialogue or even taking a moment to reflect, they resort to finger-pointing and blaming the voters. This isn't leadership. It's not entertainment either. It's just a reminder of how out of touch Hollywood elites are with everyday Americans. At the end of the day, Trump's victory over Kamala Harris was the result of millions of people exercising their democratic rights. Whether you agree with the result or not, that's how democracy works. It's time for these celebrities to stop acting like spoiled children who didn't get their way and start respecting the process they claim to value so much. These over-the-top reactions from the likes of Kimmel, Fallon, Colbert, Meyers, and The View only serve to deepen the divide in this country. Instead of crying about it, maybe they should focus on understanding why so many Americans voted for Trump. Because the truth is, while they're busy mocking and blaming, Trump supporters are busy shaping the future of this nation. So, to the Hollywood elite, maybe it's time to grow up, accept the results, and move on. The rest of us have work to do.